everyone, this is Gilbert Jalad. I'm talking to you here from CPLSPA headquarters downtown Orlando. This is Tufts on Tax, where all your tax questions are answered right here, related for, you have questions about the IRS or tax forms or any litigation problems or lawsuits. You can answer them here with Mr. T. Scott Tufts. He is the master and the expert when it comes to tax law and tax forms or anything related to taxes. You can call us at 877-647-7887, or you can email us at stufts@cplspa.com. That's stufts@cplspa.com. Hello, Scott. How are you?
Hey, good to be with you.
Good to be with you too today. And we have a special episode. We have an interview with Mr. Tee Persad. He is the CEO and founder of CPLSPA, of course. And also he's founding a new program, which is Private Corporate Counsel, and he is launching it this year. So how is the interview about that? What are you going to ask him about that?
Gilbert, as you know, on Tufts on Tax, we occasionally have done these interviews in prior episodes where we have tried to bring in colleagues, different areas.
Yes, absolutely.
And then, and what I hope to do for our audience is not just talk about the taxes and how it impacts them, but also get them to see that there are other areas in law or otherwise where professionals can come in, talk about what they're doing, and see how that interacts in real time with taxes and so forth. So it's kind of an exciting thing. We kind of turn the tables on them. I get a chance to ask questions, and hopefully our audience can get a kind of quick idea of what some other folks who are all kind of on the periphery of what I see every day are out there doing.
Awesome. Well, we'll have the interview with Mr. Tee Persad, and we'll be back.
All right, it's great to be with you here on Tufts on Tax. I'm excited to have with me today a chance to interview and talk to Tee Persad. He's got a great program that's put in place called the Private Corporate Counsel program. And for our folks out there who have listened, and we've talked about tax forms and tax problems and kind of getting ahead of the curve and bringing folks things to their attention that they didn't know. We try and get the word out before things are done that might not be in their best interest. We're at the same time trying to bring others from other areas to talk about what they do. And this is a great opportunity for me to kind of understand what we're trying to do with tax, but talk to others and how they bring things to the table for that might impact our audience. And so with that, Tee, thank you for coming.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So Tee, just real quick, before we get into the Private Corporate Counsel program, give our audience a little bit of your background, first as a lawyer and then with CPLS.
Yeah, well, I have done nothing else in my adult life but work in this profession except for the Army. And so I started working as a receptionist in a law firm, legal secretary, went to NYU, got a degree in paralegal studies, worked as a paralegal, and went to law school after undergraduate, worked as a law clerk in family court and criminal court and civil court and a little stint in bankruptcy court, and worked with a larger firm representing banks before venturing out and starting CPLS in 1995.
That's an incredible background. It reminds me of how important it is in life to work in the trenches, work on different aspects to maybe better appreciate how the profession operates. Would you say you've been able to do that?
Yeah, it does help you build empathy with the people who work within the profession at every level, which I think is an important thing. And I think that's something that we should all strive for.
And that's just kind of a quick aside. Knowing you the short time that I have, a couple of years now, and having a great opportunity to work with you and alongside you, your disposition is such. You've been at this how many years?
Oh, geez. When you count just practicing law, 27 years. But when you count the others, then I would say roughly about 32 years.
So you have a very positive disposition about you. You seem to be energized with what you do. You talk quickly about that before we get into the PCC program.
Yeah, it's cliche, but they say do what you love and you never have to work a day in your life.
And you love what you do?
And I love what I do. I wouldn't do anything else if I had the choice. But I do have the choice. I wouldn't do anything else. I enjoy the intellectual challenge. I enjoy the the opportunity to help other people. I enjoy the opportunity to help entrepreneurs and businesses grow and develop their business and have a well-rounded lifestyle. And help lawyers do that as well, since lawyers at their heart are also entrepreneurs.
That's awesome. All right, so let's get into the Private Corporate Counsel program. I noticed on the some of the materials I've been looking at with it, you mentioned that you've been helping businesses since 1995. Talk to me about what you've seen over the years and what maybe has led you to open up this Private Corporate Counsel program.
Well, so over the years, since 1995, businesses and entrepreneurs and executives within businesses have been coming to me for legal advice. And those legal advice or legal representation, whether they be proactive or reactive, for drafting documents, helping planning and developing an idea into a business or a concept, or defending a lawsuit or protecting your rights in court. Those are transactional issues. Those are recipes to bake a good cake, if you will. But what I found is that these clients were staying with me for what I would call the cookbook issues. Instead of one recipe, they were looking for a bunch of recipes in a cookbook. And those other recipes were, simply put, they wanted to have someone that they can bounce any issue off of, who not only understood the legal issues, but understood the business issues, understood the human issues, understood the relationship issues, understood all of the issues that make them as a whole, to help them strive for being better and help their businesses do better, which obviously helps their stakeholders, including their employees, their customers, their investors, and ultimately society. And so I found that this holistic approach was a better approach to work with people who are entrepreneurial, people who worked in businesses, what I call enterprise entrepreneurs, and to help businesses grow and develop. And so the idea of this Private Corporate Counsel program was born out of this idea of helping them not just with transactional issues or recipes, but helping them with issues what I call are lifetime issues, the lifetime of the individual, their relationships, their families, their finances, their jobs, their profession, and of course their business.
You know, it's remarkable to me because us lawyers are ethically kind of bound by this concept that when we think about how to counsel our clients, we are to consider more than just the law. And it's so this kind of is a build out of that in the business realm, because you're talking about as a holistic approach, taking into who they are and what type of risk assessment they have, the ability for them to look at the bigger picture. I assume you're talking about all kinds of different types of businesses. If they're at the incubation stage, how you bring them along and help and guide them, all that's part of this program?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, it's baked into the rules of professional conduct that we have to consider issues other than just the legal issues. We have to consider the people themselves, the clients that we represent, the businesses that we represent. We also have to consider other people that may be affected by the decisions that we make and the representations that we provide as well. Those are actually baked into the rules of professional conduct.
That's interesting. So in the, I know that since 1995, that year is kind of interesting to me because in the tax world, in the simple formation of businesses, that was the year we kind of in the tax world started this check the box concept, which is a selection of an entity, an S corp or a C corp or whatever tax setup that we would do. They tried to simplify it, and yet we had these LLCs, and it got complicated and creative. But yet there's, when you're starting a business, you're just trying to get off the ground.
Yeah.
And the last thing you need is a heavy weight of tax regulations all over you or inhibiting you, but you'll have to work that in. So that what's interesting to me is, as you fast forward from 1995 to today, what is it that you're seeing business owners need today to be able to do the that is really putting the impetus behind this program?
Well, so when I think about a business owner, an entrepreneur, or even an enterprise entrepreneur, I'm thinking about several things as it deals with tax issues. First of all, I'm looking at the business, whether it's at the incubation stage, the infancy stage, the young adult stage, or the mature adult or prime stage, because they have different needs. At the incubation stage, it's more about planning. It's more about education. And so at that stage, I'm thinking about really educating the entrepreneur or the inventor or the person with a great idea about the structures that are available, the tax advantages and disadvantages of each structure, how that affects them personally if they succeed, or God forbid, if they fail.
Right.
And how that affects their personal tax returns, how that affects their family finances. And so it's a holistic approach so that they're educated to make the right decisions that they need to make. I think one of the things I'm careful about is not to make the decisions for them. Because if I'm making the decisions for them, they're not understanding the underlying rationale and policy reasons as to why those decisions are being made. And they don't know whether or not it's in their best interest or not. They're just going to assume that. So I take more of an education approach. How can I make sure that they have the information they need? And in a simple, clarified way, I subscribe to the simple philosophy is if I can't make it understandable on a sheet of paper in a diagram, then I really don't understand it.
So, T, one of the things I've seen over the years in formation and everything is this idea that, it turns cookie cutter because there's not enough time, right? The money's precious. You're getting off the ground. You're trying to make money. There's a sense that you don't have the dollars to throw out the window. So therefore you can't think big maybe and get all this elaborate legal assistance because it's just too much. The weight of that cost is too much. So you'll go to one of these providers that can, you can get it online and form a company. So talk to me a little bit about why what you bring to the table initially factors in both efficiency and also a recognition of what the needs really are and why it's starting to catch on. In other words, talk to me about why the model as you see it developing is curbs against that. In other words, keeps it from being cookie cutter, but yet it's not so cost prohibitive that they can't afford it. Talk to me a little bit about that.
In the earliest days of my career, I did some clerking, and one of the things that I did, especially in criminal courts, was to review a lot of post-conviction relief motions from lawyers, what I call jailhouse lawyers. People in jail who have gone through the process once or twice, and so they're cutting and pasting documents. And so when you read one paragraph, it makes a lot of sense. When you read another paragraph, it makes a lot of sense. But you put it all together, nothing makes any sense. And so when I see people using forms online or using these algorithms online or other online platforms, I tend to see the same thing. It's either extremely simplified and does not meet the needs of the client, or it is disorganized and chopped up in such a way where the documents are useless to anyone. In fact, it may create some liability for the client. So I don't subscribe to those, and I don't encourage that. In fact, I strongly discourage it. I've designed this private corporate counsel program to solve that problem, and we solve that problem by simply providing these entrepreneurs, these businesses, these executives with a flat monthly rate where they can call us at any time and ask any questions they want to, and they don't have to worry about being billed hourly for that time.
It's kind of like a service contract in a way?
It is kind of like a service contract, but it's capped at a monthly amount for telephone calls and for emails. And they have one-on-one coaching every single month on any issue that they want to discuss. So although this is not a big money generator for us, the purpose of this program is to help these entrepreneurs, help these businesses, help these enterprise entrepreneurs succeed. Because when they succeed, their businesses succeed. And when their businesses succeed, that means more opportunities for us as lawyers. And that's where we make our money, on helping them succeed, their growth and development, and helping them work on exciting things.
And is it also part of getting to know each other so that they might have a legal problem come up in the business that needs, a lawyer, and you can say, hey, need some help, and you have the ability to connect them
That's correct.
with those legal services that they then need in the business as it's growing, as you said, from different stages of life.
Absolutely. It's critical that they have someone they can talk to without the roadblock of additional fees on a monthly basis.
Like the old tick, 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 worrying about the clock ticking and everything.
Yeah. This is a critical part of this program. People in this program, businesses in this program, one of the things they tell me often is that before I joined this program, I felt uncomfortable about talking to a lawyer. Mm-hmm. I felt that it would cost me a lot of money. Now I don't have that roadblock. And so I'm encouraged. And so when an issue comes up, I send my private corporate counsel an email, or I hop on the call and give them.
So it opens the floodgates, basically, and allows this dialogue that is much needed at this earliest stage.
It allows us the opportunity to educate the members. It allows us the opportunity to really understand what they're dealing with, understand their business, understand the context, understand the pros and the cons of their industry, understand them at a very core level. And the more we build that understanding, the better position we'll be in to actually help them.
That's awesome. So Tee, talk about, now that we can't cover all the details of the program, but talk to me a little bit about how our audience can get in touch with you specific to this program. How can they learn more about this program? How can they look at their options to sign up? Let's kind of walk them through that, and then we can obviously bring you back and talk more about it as the program develops. But for right now, let's get them in touch with you if they have an interest in this regard.
So we do have a website. It's privatecorporatecounsel.com. We also can be reached through the firm's website at cplspa.com, or at our phone number, 407-647-7887. Or you can just send us an email at info@cplspa.com. To learn more, though, about what this program offers, and to listen to what members are saying about this program, I encourage everyone to go to privatecorporatecounsel.com, because we have some good information there.
And I believe we offer the legal. We have multiple language opportunities, right? If they come in with
we do. One of the things that we're very proud of is that we are, in my estimation, the most diverse law firm in terms of age, sex, gender, sexual orientation, languages, nationality within a 200-mile radius. That's awesome. So we do have people on staff who speak Spanish, who speaks Portuguese, who speaks Arabic, speak French, Farsi, and of course, English.
Awesome. Okay. Well, Tee, I can't thank you enough for coming out and helping our audience learn a little bit more about the program, and look forward to talking to you again. And if you'll come back and get on Tufts on Tax as the program continues to develop, we'll bring you back.
My pleasure. I always love talking about this program, because it is a program that really brings meaningful help to entrepreneurs, businesses, and enterprise entrepreneurs.
All right, there you have it. Look forward to learning more about the Private Corporate Counsel program at CPLS. And of course, if you have any questions, get in touch with us. We can help you in any of these tax issues, or with regard to opening up a business and getting the advice you need. Thank you.